Okay, so back in the treasure room of the temple, you've just looted and collected the talking shield. Who's going to carry that back?
I
Quite
think
strong.
Therefore, I am.
Think.
Well, I suppose.
I don't think Rambler should.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Or have you got it in your dog?
Where is it? I can't remember.
The shield's currently up on the wall. I don't think anyone has taken it down yet. It's shaped like a large pair of lips.
I think you were looking to try and place it on Tabatu, I think.
Oh, right, okay. I shall do just that.
He's quite strong.
That's fine. You lift the shield up. It's surprisingly light, given its size, given it's about 3/4 of Batu's length.
Oh my god.
You managed to, using a small amount of the barding from his harness, tie it onto the side of him. So it's currently just covering an entire side of the wolf.
Protection.
Nice side of wolf.
Delicious. Well, are we going somewhere? Hooray! Are you taking me back home again? The shield will ask.
I'll take you back to Salaxia.
Oh, good. I've missed her.
Or will we?
Well, I mean...
I say with a sly wink.
Do with it.
Do you say that in front of the shield?
Yes.
No.
It can't see you, so it's just going to say, what? I thought you were taking me back. Oh, don't put me in another dark room. At least leave me some company.
Okay, let's take it back to the snake lady.
Come back to Doris. Wherever she may be.
Oh, there's a point.
No, it's Carl, though. I don't know who Doris is.
The shield could be the... Yes, Rambler?
Did I do something?
Yeah, you just muted yourself and unmuted yourself about 6 times in a row.
I was just pressing the... Sorry, I'm just playing around.
Okay,
it could be their new god. Get Doris back, but I have this feeling that we can't trust her.
Yeah, I've got this feeling that she might not be very responsive.
After
such a long time in that cave.
Ever since at night she stayed at Shartan, she's been very strange. Not engaging with the party at all.
I would like to use my Mirror of True Sight to see Doris.
Okay. As you pull out the full-size mirror and lean it up against a wall. I'm still wondering how you're going, but I'm going to ignore that fact for a moment. You lean it up against a wall, touch the edge of the silver and say Doris, thinking of her as you do so. You get a picture of her. She's currently sitting on a high throne. Suddenly, and unusually, her skin appears faintly red, and she has tattooed markings all over her body of a deep crimson as well. She's wearing her red leather armor, and is also carrying now a red fish skin staff. She is sitting before a small crowd of Kuatoa.
Who is that vision I see before me?
She's declared herself god of the fishmen. Well, good for her.
I'm startled by this.
May she enjoy her life under the sea.
Who is it?
It's Doris. Oh,
well,
yeah, you don't know Doris, do you?
Never met a Doris before.
Oh, well, she was this nice old lady. She had a few pretty dangerous spells that she threw at us every now and then, but she decided to live under the sea.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Oh, dear.
Well,
nice.
Now we've had that terrifying vision. Perhaps you should put the shield away, Rambler, and we should make haste.
Well, I would love to.
Salaxis.
I would love to put the shield away, but I don't think there's any room for it in any of my bags. It's going to have to be out in the open.
So where's the mirror going?
That's a good point. The other side of the wolf.
I guess. And he's got a tent as well.
The tent folds up to an inch square.
Yeah. That's fine.
The mirror could go under the shield.
Fair enough. You could ask Minstrel to put it in the bag of holding.
Minstrel?
Yes, my son.
Mr. Minstrel?
Yes, Rambler.
Do you mind putting this mirror in your bag? It's giving old Batu sores over there.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
This is the least I can do for my little halfling
Alright,
lover
so
friend.
taking it out of my inventory.
Putting it in the bag of holdings inventory.
I'm just going to call it Mirror of Seeing.
True sight mirror, but close enough.
It's good.
Yeah, it's quite a helpful little item. Okay, it slides nicely straight into the bag. It's about the same width as it, so it's...
No, sorry, you go on first.
Just disappears beyond the gap and disappears into the bag.
Also, Rambler says, while we're at it, he just pulls out of his pocket a 10-foot-long sword staff, which he somehow is carrying in his pocket. It's like, does anybody have any use
it's
for
8
this?
foot long, but close.
Yeah. Mr. Karn, sir, do you have any use for this item here?
I mean,
I can't really carry it.
I could use it, but sort of more range specialized.
Well, would you mind carrying it for me for a while? And if you need to use it, feel free to go ahead.
I think I could carry it for you.
Sure. You sling it onto the back of your thing. It's an imposing thing to be hanging there.
Okay. Do you want to write that down now then? Cold fire, short stuff.
Sword stuff.
Cool.
Short stuff.
Oh, it's too sticky.
I beg your pardon?
No, it's not.
Pick that putty up.
Again.
Oh, why? Stop playing with that.
It's too hot in my room, so it's like playing with glue.
Did you have it?
Because he can't resist an impulse, you know him.
Oh.
Although, as friends, as we are returning, I'm a little worried about what's going to happen to me. As that weird man who turned into a big wolf ran off. I was supposed to be keeping an eye on him.
He does that. He likes putting people in the shit and then not dealing with the consequences. Perhaps you should forego facing said consequences and just join us on our merry adventure. No one need know.
I mean, we have bonded over our killing of
beg your pardon.
Weird UNT things. But I suppose I can still go back. I will have to change, I think. If I'm going to not draw attention. Yeah.
Are you going to be doing what I think you're going to be doing?
I think I am going to use my shape changer.
Do you want to send me join me in the whisper for 5 seconds? And we'll...
Oh no, they're having a wank. When they get back, shall we pickpocket Khan?
I think we should slit his throat and leave him for dead.
Who's dead?
Shartan.
Yes. Oh, Shartan. Warriors, come out to play. Oh, Shartan, come out and play, yay. Oh.
Okay. Sorry about that. Just a quick one for Flair. Okay, at which point you're going to notice Khan's skin begin to faintly ripple under the fur before the fur recedes completely, and his form begins to change, as his features now change from tabaxi to decidedly human and female.
As a reaction, I cast Minor Illusion to temporarily make it look like he hasn't changed form.
I'm going to finish the description before you do that, because you're a dick. To turn to pale skin, brunette eyes, and long raven hair.
Quaff the raven.
And then Minstrel immediately makes him look like a tabaxi. Can't look like a tabaxi again.
I mean, it's a still image, so it would be maybe a short image directly in front of him, blocking my view, and I'm going to loudly say, I shan't have any of that. I've had men accost me like this before.
I'm not doing anything as to
another gender.
Accost you. There's no pretending about it. People of my race, my species, don't necessarily stick to a gender. It's not completely
And
set in stone.
what exactly is your species, Mr. Karen, if you're not a cat man?
I am a changeling.
Oh, what now?
Changeling.
Change
Rambo
my
scratches
form.
his head.
Minister, I'm going to give you a quick bit of information because I don't know if you'll remember from the World Treatise.
Well, I'll paste an image in. Just of a rough.
Changeling's a good one to put in for an image for him. Whilst I did a quick decision, remembering from the world's outset, changelings aren't particularly liked. They're seen as untrustworthy and duplicitous because they have ability to change their form and literally vanish into a crowd at a second's notice is terrifying to most
Ignore
common
the
people.
armor, but this is the one on the message to 5e tools. It's that kind of face. They're just blank slates, basically. Really pale, pasty things.
That's the base form. You will be changing form frequently, I assume. Ugh.
Well, Khan, it appears you have tricked us all.
It's not a trick. I've
They
been living
tricked
with
us,
Tabaxi for
minstrel.
years, but now it's time for a change.
Oh, so you tricked the cat people, eh?
It's not tricking. I like the Tabaxi and I wanted to live as one of them. And I can. I can change everything about myself.
But you can't change your nature.
Fortunately not. Not
I
Well-
wipe a tear away.
Well, that is a surprise. I must say, I was beginning to really like you, but now I see you're some weird kind of. I don't know what you are.
I'm not like the other changelings you may have heard of. I'm not trickster.
You're not the same as the great,
As far as you know,
Change
you've
man.
never met one.
the renowned bard, changeling bard,
I suppose you will have known what a
From
changeling is somewhere.
Lakeview Village, who worked his way up from the ranks of being a poor changeling pauper to a renowned astronomer.
Astronomer.
Astronomer, you say?
I can't even say that the wrong way.
Astronomer.
Oh,
I
I'm
believe
not,
I've
I'm
heard
not
of this.
untrustworthy. I mean, I like you people. And I just think that my time in the Tabaxi has ended.
I say
You
I
mean-
like you too with a blush, and then immediately catch myself realizing it's Khan I'm talking to, and not a pretty lady.
Is
It's a pretty lady as far as you can tell.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you've never seen a changeling, you don't know what their true form looks like.
Nope, unless you revert, he won't actually know anything, technically.
I mean, I can show my true form. If
Right,
you really
well,
wanted to see it, but I'd rather not.
Maybe
Well,
you should.
I'm still happy to have you in the party, but if you feel that you can trust us with your true form, it might put dear Rambler's mind at ease.
Maybe another time. But
When my
now-
when-
we need to get that shield back. Because they're going to be waiting for us.
how
We're
are
gonna
we
have to make
going
up a
to?
story as to how I'm here?
Yeah, I was about to say, how are we going to explain that Khan's perhaps your previous form's gone on the chase after the other fellow, and
Yes.
we rescued you from the clutch of a T-Rex?
I was taken prisoner by those UNT we went to kill.
Ah, of course, of course.
That'll hold.
Those things we fought not but 10 minutes ago that I had forgotten about.
If not, I'll just run into the crowd and change again, and they'll never find me.
Considering you took a sleep, actually, it's been about 8 hours since you last fought them.
Wait, have we slept? Oh, yeah, we slept.
Yeah,
just
you
before
went into
the
one of the
battle.
rooms and slept after. Yeah,
Yeah, just before the T-Rex.
yeah.
Right, well, I think we should make headways, because at the moment we're shooting the shit. And I have noticed that dear old chatty Shield's been awfully quiet.
Sorry, I don't want
Hey,
to interrupt.
Shield, are you okay?
Oh, yes, just resting before the journey. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Now, which way are we going? East or west? Was it?
No, shush.
Okay.
Just a status check. Want to make sure you weren't harmed. Right, let's go, boys.
Young minstrel, I've not got a good feeling about this. That shield seems mighty suspicious to me, and now I don't know if we can trust this. Well, I was going to call him a cat fellow, but I suggest we be on our guard at least.
Yes, let's hit the guard button mode.
I'll do what I can to earn your trust.
I go
So
into
you're going to be
guard
traveling whilst being wary. As you begin heading through the dense forest, every few minutes or so, you hear the shield say, "Hello there, tiny one," before becoming silent again, as if it's seeing something you're not.
Who are you speaking to, Shield?
The little ones, can you not see them?
Little what?
At which point we're going to have...
Roll initiative.
Not yet. I will need passive perceptions from everyone.
12.
10, 12. Rambler?
14.
Highest.
14. You have +4 to wisdom?
Yes,
You have 18 wisdom.
I've always had that.
Okay, no, that's fine. Seems unusual for a ranger.
Does it?
Yes.
No.
That's not
Would-
one of their big skills, I guess.
Yeah, no. Having an 18 and that's a +4 modifier, not your perception modifier, just your flat wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
I'm sure there must have been a reason I did it. It was a long time ago now.
Well, what's your wisdom score for me?
And it gives you higher
18.
perception chance and things.
18, okay, fair enough.
Hmm.
Okay, so with that, Rambler, you're going to notice at the corner of your eye something very quickly move past Minstrel's face. At which point, Minstrel, you feel a small nick, as if a sharp branch has passed past you.
Ow! I felt a small nick. I'm under attack.
At which point,
Yeah, your spellcasting ability modifier is your wisdom modifier.
that's why you did it.
Yeah, but I suppose I don't use that with spells.
Fair. Okay, so with that, make a perception check to try and spot what attacked you.
Is that for everyone or?
Everyone, yeah. Since he called out. Seven. 14.
Oh, I'm in the wrong chat, aren't I? I got a 17.
No, you did.
17. Okay, Rambler, you're going to notice a small, dark blue mini elf. Maybe 2 inches high. At most.
Oh, not that it makes a difference, but mine should be 13, not 14. I did +6 instead of 5.
Ah, that's fine. No, I wasn't safe. So it's 17th the one I have to say. So you're going to see a small mini elf, about 2 inches high at most, quickly have dashed past Minstrel's face and cut him with a teeny tiny sword
All right.
before disappearing off again.
What is it? What's attacking me?
I would like to yell out in Elvish, little fellows, we're not your enemies. Come as friend and we will help you.
They do not respond. You don't know whether or not they're... Hang on, I found a picture for you guys.
What are
Right.
you talking about, Rambler?
Can't
Who are
you
you talking
understand me?
to?
What did you see?
I saw this tiny little elf. I could have sworn it just went up and slashed Minstrel across his part of his body.
How tiny
He
was
might
his
be
elf?
poisoned.
There we go.
We should check that cut in his face. Make sure
I would
it's
like
okay.
to check the cut on his face. Would you help me up, young minstrel, while I check you out? Make sure you aren't poisoned.
Alright, put my knee out so we can stand on my knee.
Okay, as you come over, make a medicine check.
Oh, guess I can try and help
You can help, sure. You're a ranger, you should know something about it.
a little bit.
Does that mean you're going to give me advantage?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
18.
Nice.
Okay, you can establish there's no bulging or darkening of the veins around the wound. It just does appear to be a very small, thin cut.
I've gone pale
You're
all
okay.
the same.
Okay.
Cut
I
a
think you'll-
beautiful face.
I think
My
you'll be all right,
beautiful
young
face.
minstrel. I tell you what, have have a sip of this, and I give him a sip of my water skin. And I say, this has got some healing properties and it'll make you feel right as rain.
I take a sip.
Okay.
But I'm also on edge and very wary that something keeps attacking my face.
It's a scratch.
Pull my bow off my back and knock an arrow,
Okay.
just in case.
As after a few moments, you then hear the shield say, "Hello there, tiny ones. You're awfully aggressive, aren't you? I'm going to need, as I assume you're going to look round for them, one more round of perception checks to see if you can see them."
I'm going to say to the shield, they don't speak Elvish, you dumb shit. I
Or
they don't
that
speak
one.
shield.
Nat 1. You see nothing.
I've just
Practically blind.
I've just grasped at the air, trying to catch him mid-flight, realizing he's not actually coming at my face at the moment.
Fair enough. Khan, you can suddenly see about 12 of them surrounding you.
There's a lot of them. It's maybe more than 10. A baker's
Where?
dozen -1.
Where?
Around us.
They're scattered throughout the trees. Some of them are on the floor near your ankles.
They're
Oh,
everywhere.
stand
Just look.
still, Khan. Stand still. And I take out a poison bottle and pour poison on the floor by his feet.
Okay.
Get out of the way of that.
Perhaps you should use your sleep spell, young minstrel. We can't hit these things with our weapons.
We'd have to be away from him, otherwise I'd sleep us.
Well, can't you? Oh, well.
It starts on the lowest HP. Do you reckon you have more HP than they do?
Yep, so.
I should
Also,
hope
you
so.
can elect for sleep not to affect people. I'm fairly certain.
Okay, I'm going to cast... Oh, can I cast it? Let's just have... Yes, sleep.
At level...
1.
Okay. Level 1. Okay, so roll the 5d8.
Oh, 5d8, mate. 5d8, mate. That's a big number. Oh,
Oh!
Damn.
Actually, nothing happens, unfortunately.
wait, they've got 9 hit points.
They have more than 9 hit points
Yeah.
each.
We
That
might be
is-
shit here, young minstrel. I haven't got any spell slots left.
And my poison did nothing. I was hoping to drown at least one of them.
They are running around, Khan, you can still notice. They aren't really holding still and they aren't really going near you. They're waiting.
They're not going anywhere near us. They seem to be waiting for something. I don't know what that is.
At which point, Khan, I need you to make the save with advantage. Everyone else, I will need dexterity saving throws. As Khan, you are going to, I assume, warn everyone as they beginning to try to cut at you.
Yeah. Very much
What's
so.
going on?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Yes!
Nat 20. Nat 1.
Oh. What is going on?
16.
And it's 6. Oh, yeah, of course. I was going to say, the Nat 20 and Nat 1 looked really nice in contrast.
I got a nat 1 in that advantage roll. So
Yeah, so you're in luck.
Well,
Okay,
did you-
and
did you
one for
get
Radhika.
advantage on- Oh, yeah, you got advantage. 'cause-
You got advantage because he can see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
One for Radhika.
Uh,
25. Okay. You begin moving quickly away from the creatures as they begin striking out with their swords, jumping across to try and cut at your face or vital
Can
area.
I try and grab one, please?
Sure. I'm going to say make a... So I'm trying to think if this is going to be... It's not acrobatics. Athletics check. Or sleight of hand, your choice.
Sleight of hand.
Okay. You're making it against one of the creatures. 27.
20.
20. Nope, so it slips through your fingers, but you do catch sight of it as it does. You can once again see the small blue skin of the creature.
I want to try and catch him after seeing Minstrel.
Sure.
Try.
I'm going to take out my sword and say, get
I
lit.
think it'll be athletics for me.
Okay. Athletics for you, that's fine. As you try to catch one.
No.
3. No, you're not getting anywhere near it. It slips directly through your fingers.
Hey,
Its
bloody
modifier
things.
is higher than that. In
I'm
fact,
going to.
They're in my hair!
Hey, shield, do you know what these are?
oh, pricklings. They're very common around here. They normally don't bother us. So actually, I can't even feel them stabbing you anymore. They're so small, no one really cares. People just tend to walk away. They have a little man complex. I've always tried to talk to them. They don't listen to me very much.
Should we take the shield's advice and just try
I have
and
a question.
get past them?
Has it been a day since I cast Entangle?
You had a long rest, so kind of.
Right. Oh, but they're flying, aren't they?
They are moving very quickly.
I'm going to
Do they have
teleport
wings?
20 feet ahead.
Sure, you jump out 20 feet as one which was aiming towards your face literally disappears as you move 20 foot ahead.
Alright.
Some
Well,
just
I
gonna
guess
run.
we're getting out of here then. I'm going to jump on to Batu's back and say, "Run to Batu Sasula. Show me the meaning of haste."
I'm
Okay.
going to run. I'm going to cast Long Strider to give myself an extra 10 feet movement.
Sure. The ones of you who are running and didn't teleport, Minstrel, I assume you're running after the teleport?
Yeah.
I will need one more deck saving throw. Rambler, just roll Batu since you're on top of it. I'll count you as one.
Yes.
Ooh,
18, that's fine. 22, that's also fine. Was that Batu's or yours?
Batu's.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Boy, Batu.
So as you manage to duck out the way of the small blades slinging through the forest towards you, you make it a good 300 feet before you realise they're no longer following you anymore. And she says, "Bye, friends."
never got away from those little things.
Well, I suppose we best be extra cautious now we know there's little
They only normally
make-believe elves around here.
The shield's going
attacking
to turn to you. The shield's going to respond to you. Say, they normally only attack when you're in their territory, but just don't step in any of them. They do not take kindly to that.
I will step on as many as I can.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm going
As
to
I
assume that means it's
start-
not fine, so I
start
think we're going to
walking.
get out of here.
Walking back, stamping my feet.
Fair enough. As you begin walking back, you've come now to the break in the trees. Once again, ruins can be seen over the hill you now know as Salaxia. As she comes into view. Her head once again comes up from behind the ruin to say hello to you. Hello there. And I see you brought my fine shield. Very kind of you. Hello, Glib. Hello, Salaxia. How are you? I'm fine. Would you like to come back to your pedestal? Yes, please, if these fine people will pass me.
Batu walks towards the snake with the shield on his back, but not tied. I untie it.
You untie it, fair enough. Salaxia gently ducks her head down and using her long serpentine tongue picks the shield up before popping it in the top tower of the ruins.
As she lifts it up, Batu looks at her and goes, "Sausages?"
Sorry, little one. I don't eat much myself.
doesn't.
She reaches her head over to the ocean and closes her mouth into the water behind it, pulling up what's essentially, and then dropping in front of Batu, half a shark.
Nice. Batu.
How's that?
Batu says sausages and then eats.
The half of a
Proceeds
shark.
to eat.
As much as he can.
Fair enough. Okay, so she's now going to go to... yes, I believe we had an agreement. You were hoping to find this person. What was his name?
Minstrel, you're up. You're a smart one.
I will admit that
Make a history check.
I'm going to do a history check.
Yeah, can't help.
If you can't remember, make a history
And
check.
I'm the only one who can anyway, because
Yes, you
I'm
are.
the only one who was there.
Yep.
History plus
You got great. No.
7. Thankfully, I'm going to just say, for sake of purpose, you remember, because otherwise this is going to go badly. Thankfully, it was mentioned the last time he attacked you with the elves. So you are going to recall the name Syphilis.
Oh, yes, syphilis.
Oh, he sounds
Very
like a
well.
right
And
bastard.
which one of you will receive the vision?
I'm gonna nudge Minstrel in the back of my elbow.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the odd vision here and there. I've had some crazy nights in the inn. I suppose. What's one more? That can't hurt.
Now, Minstrel, I don't want you losing your mind over this. I know how sensitive you are and how emotional you can get sometimes. I don't want you going mad from this.
I'm gonna say I don't know what he's talking about, and then burst out laughing, like, almost hysterically.
Fair enough.
Is that what
You
it
hear
sounds
dogs
like?
barking in the distance.
That's Batu backing Minstrel up.
I'm starting to shake because I'm having a vision, and there's barking.
Fair enough. That's not the vision. But sure. Okay, so Laxi is going to lower her head down to the ground and beckon you to touch your hand to her snout, to be honest. I'm not quite sure what a snake's nose is called.
Not sure. Snout, that's good enough.
I touch her on her. 1 sec.
You're going to Google the word, aren't you?
Nostril.
Did you have to Google the word nostril?
No, I googled what's a snake nose called, and it's literally nostrils.
Oh, okay. So you touch your hand against her skin. As your eyes turn white, you begin to see a vision.
I'm blind.
No, you can see. So you're seeing pictures at the minute, like it's a vision. I don't know how else I can explain that. You begin by seeing a grey, creamy background, and upon it you see, on the left-hand side, an angel, and on the right-hand side, a devil. As they come together in the center, your vision draws down below them, where you can now see a knotted serpent. Did you get all that?
Yes.
Okay. And this is the vision which will tell you exactly where Syphilis is.
Just writing that down if you haven't.
Yeah, I will say at this point you may want to describe that to your party.
What did you see, Minstrel?
I saw an angel and a demon in a grey kind of
Functional point, I said devil, not demon. They are different.
insane. I mean, would Minstrel know the difference?
Yes, you've met demons.
An angel and a devil in a kind of creamy, grey place, and then it panned down.
Right. Well,
Pan down to what?
A knot of
A knotted serpent.
yeah, a knotted serpent.
I wonder what that means. Does it mean anything to you, Rambler? Minstrel?
Well, I know snakes can be. Oh no, I better not say that in front of the big girl over there. Perhaps we'll ask her. Slaxlan.
Yeah.
Can you explain this vision at all?
The vision will be a clue. They're never quite as convenient as you'd like. For example, they might refer to place names, they might refer to creatures. However, there will definitely be some way to discern how this relates to where your target is. Oh, and we also had this. She is now going to toss the wish stone onto the floor in front of your party.
Uh-oh. Does it look like... No, it looks like a stone, right?
It's a perfectly spherical stone, white and slightly radiant energy coming off it.
Batu hears it drop, and he looks up and sniffs the air, and then goes back to eating his shark.
I'm going to step back and cower behind Minstrel.
I'm just going to pick it up and nonchalantly drop it in the bag of holding.
Fair enough. I will send you this, as she's also going to briefly explain it. So, I've explained it to you guys before, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just put the picture up for you guys. So she's going to explain how it's dangerous to use, etc., etc. There you go. You can now see the item in the inventory for you.
Where?
Just went in the chat.
Oh.
Okay, so with that, she's going to say, "Good luck finding your Naga." Sorry, throat's going.
Okay, please. I'm going to take out my map and I'm going to start poring over it for place names that remind me of a devil and an angel and this knotted scrake. And I'm going to say, Karen Minstrel. Have you guys got maps? Could be.
I don't know much of this continent. I've spent most of my life in these Tabaxi lands.
Yeah, I haven't really been around all that much, apart from my late adventures with the young minstrel. Are you here, minstrel?
Huh? Oh, sorry. That was a weird trip. Well, it's obvious, isn't it?
I see.
The angel is us, and the devil is Shartan. So, when we're in the same place, we simply need to look beneath us.
Who's Shartan? Don't know this
Craig
Shartan.
added hysterics.
Perhaps we'll get to that later. For now, right, angel, devil, and a knotted snake. Well, that could mean a river.
Wasn't there a holy place in this world?
I'm actually how hard you guys are thinking about this. Sorry.
Well, there's
Probably
a
Khan doesn't know much, so I can't.
there is a holy town actually. I do believe I've been there with some pretty strange fellows. Had some pretty strange going on over there. It didn't seem very holy to me, but yeah,
Place of devils.
It's called so that's the devil. So what's the angel place then?
I'm not going to give you a hint. This is on you guys to work out. So, with that, Selexi is going to say, and did you wish to trade any items? I have almost anything you can imagine. I've been here for some time.
Anything I can imagine, you say?
Yes, if you are willing to trade me other magical items, I don't like to decrease my collection.
Well, I would like to show you this as I pull out a
spoon.
I pull out a trident.
She begins looking over everything and says, "It's nice, but it won't last for long. You have realized the fault in the enchantment."
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, right. Well, never mind that one. How about this whip?
Looking at your, I assume, the dragon whip?
Quip.
The one that sets on fire at the
dragon.
moment.
Yeah, the dragon whip.
Ah, yes, that I might be willing to trade, should you have another item to go with it, for one of mine. What sort of thing were you looking for?
Well, I do believe I've shown you one of mine, now it's time for you to show me one of yours.
This Rambler be when you would like your sword staff, perhaps? I don't know, is that magic?
Oh, that's a good point, young Karen. If you can't make too much use of it, then I shall
I'll hand that over.
Show the sword staff over to Salaxia. Ah, this is very nice. And from far away from here, I don't have many things like this. What sort of item would you like me to bring out for you?
I would like, sir, I've heard many tales that the city folk use this wand of fireball.
I have some wands. Allow me to look over. She's going to begin making an obvious rummaging noise. Her head's actually still outside the room, but you can hear that her tongue moving things round. See, does she have a wand of fireball in her inventory list? She doesn't have a wand of fireball. She does, however, and after a few moments brings out to you a single gauntlet. She says, this would have a similar purpose.
I see. May I inspect it?
Of course. Make an Arcana check.
And perhaps you could just tell me what it does.
She will be also explain. The gauntlet will allow the wearer to cast fireball.
Right. I see. Very good.
It will simply only work once a day.
Once a day, you say?
Yes.
What's my spell save DC when using that?
That's what the Arcana check was for. You've not got it.
What?
The spell save DC is a fixed one because it's an item.
Oh, I see. Right. Oh, it's a fixed one. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a pretty good trade to me, Mrs. Slaxia. I shall take you up
So
on
she's
your
going to
offer.
take the whip and the sword staff and hand you the fireball gauntlet.
Nice. Is that like a weapon that I have to equip then, or is that just
It is an attuned item, yeah.
But it's not like I don't have to.
It's not a weapon, you can just wear it.
Does it count as a piece of armor? Or is it like a separate thing?
No, it won't add anything to armor.
Oh, cool.
What's it
It's just
called
like
again?
having particularly fancy
Gauntlets of Fireball.
fireball gauntlet, yeah. Would anyone else care to trade for any items?
Well, my dearest
I'll say
matey
you who
lady,
should have loads of items, I think.
I certainly do.
Okay.
Well, I don't really. I've got a couple. I have here a magic eye.
Fascinating. Would you not want to keep such an item?
Of course not.
Okay, well, I could certainly take that off your hands. It would go very nicely in the reliquary next to the shield. I could slowly build a face. Then it'd be like talking to a whole person.
And I'm also going to show to her the War Mage's necklace.
Fair enough. The necklace. I have a large chamber of these, but I could certainly put another one in there. What sort of item would you like? Once again, dogs in the distance.
Well, I'm very adventurous, as you know. I'd be keen to maybe. What would you suggest?
Well, I have over 1,000 years of collections. If you want me to go through each of the rooms, I have weapons. I have if you have the ability to carry something this large, as she reaches in and pulls out a small fountain.
Oh.
I have this.
Don't suppose you have any magical instruments or bows,
Certainly.
perhaps?
She goes back into the thing on your request for magical instruments and pulls out what appears to be some form of hybrid between an axe and a lute.
Ooh, that's cool.
Ooh.
So it's got the lute's body with the strings on one side and a large blade on the far side.
What do you call that? What does it do?
This, as I was told by the person who traded it to me previously, is the Axitar. It allows the user to cast... Where am I? The Axitar?
Wish 3 times a day, you say?
No. It allows the user to cast... Oh god, I've lost the name of the spell. Sorry, 1 second. Thunder Wave up to 3 times a day. For the cost of a bonus action for metagamey reasons I'll explain. As well as functioning as an axe weapon.
I see. Do you have anything else similar to this?
She takes the item back, not willing to leave any items out on display when she isn't actively trading them. Let me see. Oh, I have this flute, but it's a little dangerous. She brings it out. The black wooden flute is terrifying to look at. It has wings and horns all along its length. It's, pretty scary.
I don't like the look of that minstrel.
That looks evil. What does it do?
Oh, very simple. Once a day when played, it will allow you to cast a very powerful spell known as Maddening Darkness. However, the spell effect can unfortunately affect you as well, as it holds its position. It's also slightly cursed.
See, do you know the nature of the curse?
It will slowly drive you mad every time you use it. And I mean, barking mad. I believe the last gentleman who owned it when he bought it here was eating his own arm.
Oh, well, I mean, personally, that sounds amazing. But
A one-armed bard isn't much use to anyone.
I've had bad experiences with curse items before. Perhaps, I quite like that kit, that bloody, I can't even pronounce it, guitar-y thingy.
The axe guitar.
The axe guitar. Have you got anything like that, but perhaps more utility focused? You see, I'm not much of a fisticuffs kind of man. You see.
Fair enough.
Oh, go back and... young minstrel, you're a strong young lad.
Taking the flute back inside. There's other instruments. I already need to make this by category. I will fix that for next week. Next time you meet her, or next time you come back to her, she doesn't move. Let's see instruments.
Oh shit.
Okay, she's going to bring out a horn. It's possibly draconic in nature, but it definitely looks like a playable horn with multiple holes through it, so you could change the notes. I have this horn of dragon summoning.
I say, oh my god. I have a horn.
Dragon.
What would you like in exchange for said horn? And can you describe to me in my excitement what it does?
Oh, very simple. It'll call the nearest dragon to your location. That's all it does, but it's quite helpful should you ever need to find one.
I love it. That sounds like the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
That sounds a good thing to use as a distraction.
Would you?
I would be glad to take your necklace and eye in exchange for it.
Deal. That is fine with me.
Fair enough. You can add the dragon horn.
That's going to go well.
Oh yes.
You have no idea how it's going to go. Neither do I until I roll it.
It's a massive elder dragon or something.
You could very well end the world with that sort of thing.
I do have one more question for you. I mean, I don't have anything else to sell. I just want to ask a small favour.
Certainly.
We'd very much like to come back here and perhaps trade future magic items with you.
Ooh, I'm always looking to increase my collection.
It's been a bit of a trek, you see. It's very far away. Just wondering if you wouldn't mind us perhaps casting a small spell so we can teleport back here.
I don't see why not. Are you drawing a sigil or?
No, you see, basically this is why I'm asking your permission. When we cast this spell, it does tend to cause some nasty hostile minions to appear. Now, having seen how you dealt with our camp follower Torek, I'm sure you'll be fine. I thought it polite to ask, you see.
Very kind. I shall, of course. Would you like to, if your friends move away while you cast the spell, you can... Oh, so I'm just going to pull up this notes. I've got the
come
picture.
Over here. Leave that shark alone.
Okay, so if your friends move away, I shall dispatch them as fast as I can.
That sounds like a mighty fine plan.
You'd be willing to help? Yeah, that would be even better.
Unless they are my sort of size, I should be able to dispatch them in a quick blow if they're closely gathered together.
Well then, shall we begin, gentlemen?
I shall move further away. I guess maybe part of 80 feet.
80 feet? No. Rambler, where do you want to be when he's casting this?
I'll stick with Minstrel.
Sure. Okay, as you...
Just going to make note, teleportation book also goes to God's home, doesn't it?
Do you want me to run off the list?
No.
Yeah.
Hollow Tree, Rivermouth, Rajor, Raustop, Elemental Plane of Water.
Send it to me in a minute. I can't write all these out.
Sure. Okay, so as you begin reading the words from the back of the book, do you still have them available?
No, I haven't got any notes on the book at all.
That's fine. I will make sure to send them to you in a minute. Story items, mega items. Okay, so you turn the book over and a tooth imdin yarath tam, which I did translate for you last time, so you can remember that. I'm not doing it again. As you speak this, for 11 casts appear in front of you.
Shit.
I'd like to take out my sword and say, "Get
Don't
this."
worry about this one too much, because in about 6 seconds, Salaxia immediately swallows all of them. Her head being about 60 foot across, she can kind of just crunch and gone.
Oh, huzzah!
I'd like to run up towards the snake, clapping my hands, and go, "Ho ho ho! You took care of them, but make sure you don't get ill. They looked like they'd gone off."
She remarks, they weren't very filling, actually. As soon as they seemed to bite down on them and they were chewed slightly, they all turned to ash. It was rather unpleasant. You could have warned me about that.
I'm doing an insight check only because she literally said about 10 minutes ago she doesn't eat.
Okay. Make an insight check. She also says she doesn't eat much herself.
Insight is
Yeah, it
Oh,
wasn't a completely no food deal, but
+2, +4, it's +6.
13. As far as you can tell, she's definitely telling the truth. However, you do probably discern, given she's something known as a spirit Naga, not a spirit Naga, a guardian Naga, she's used to going extended periods of time without eating, like many serpents.
Oh well, thank you for your intervention there. I don't know why I expected it to go any worse. That was mightily impressive. Do you want to join us on our journey?
I don't leave the ruins, unfortunately.
I'd like to take the top off my water skin and offer it to Slaxia. Say, "Oh yeah, you probably got a bit dry mouth. Why don't you have some of this?"
As you pour it, you begin pouring it in her mouth just to dislodge some of the ash you can now see sitting around her teeth. She swishes it around a bit, rather impressively, considering snakes don't have lips. Before turning her head over to the ocean and allowing it to pour out. You can now see the book is finished. However, you do notice the location for the far side says, let's open that, put it in, Sire Dorm. I will send it to you in a moment.
Do me a favor and send it.
Okay.
Right, well, I guess
there you go. There's your pages.
Thank you very much.
We've got to go and see a dog about a man.
I ain't got to work something out first.
Yep, you still got to try and decode the vision. Unless you're going with Minstrel's interpretation.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Khan wouldn't go against that, not knowing who that person Shartan is, or whatever. But I guess as a player, I think that's probably not the case.
Remind me what your interpretation was again, Minstrel?
But we are the angels. Shartan is the devil, and therefore, whenever we meet, we simply look beneath us.
Right.
Dig a hole or something.
So we've got to find Shartan. Now, where did we last see him?
What was the vision again?
An angel and a devil start from the left and right. They come together, and then below it, the tangled serpent.
Let's see. Oh, you need
really
to
not too tricky.
Angels and devils together.
So a part of me wonders whether the Devil's Point has anything to do with this.
Maybe have a look at the other places around there.
Devil's Point, you say? Oh, look, there's an Angel's Point as well.
Right, you are.
Oh, there is.
So we will find Shartan at the midpoint.
Perhaps we're somewhere near there.
Let's go kill this Shartan then.
Right. Can you get your book and take us to
Iridal?
Iridal?
I certainly can.
Well, there's Angel's Point, Devil's Point, and Midpoint.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a deep bow at Salaxis Praxis.
Salaxia bows her head deeply in response.
Before I go, young Slaxia, would you happen to have any booze on you?
I'm afraid not, no. Nothing I could part with. I have a barrel of magical beer, but I don't think I'd like to part with that.
What about if I offered you cash money?
No, I'm only looking to increase my collection. Gold holds no interest for me.
What about if I offered you This nicely crafted smoking pipe.
No, I think I'd rather. Is it magical?
I honestly don't know.
It's not, if I remember correctly. You just asked some guy for his pipe, and he
Yeah, I
rolled
know.
really well
I
on
know.
persuasion.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't
So,
share it.
as you hold it up, she's going to look over it and say, "No, that's not a magical item, my dear boy."
All right. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you then.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Arthur, who?
Goodbye, snake I've never met.
That's a good point. Oh, Chris.
Taking that picture has been the biggest mistake I've ever made. I am covered in it.
Lovely.
All mixed up in
Also,
my hair.
I like the simple fact that anyone who listens to this on YouTube will have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't
So,
have.
if anyone listening,
Ah.
I don't know, I have just slapped silly putty on my chest, and it's not coming off.
Oh, you gonna wax yourself with it.
Oh dear. Anyway, so are we heading to Iredale through the book?
No doubt.
Yes, so I'm going to call everyone over
Oh, I've never
so
been
they
to
read the book
Iredale.
with me.
Okay. As you hold the book open, Khan, Rambler, and Bartu looking over your shoulders. As you open to the page for Iredale, before
You all die.
saying the words loudly and clearly, the book then takes you immediately back to the town centre. Just at the base of the stairs of the Adventurers Guild, there is a large number of onlookers looking around, as you are currently standing there.
Khan's gonna lean over.
You also feel very unusual, because you just come from somewhere quite humid, and you're now at more of a dry heat just off the coast. It's a shock to the system.
Right. Well, I still need that drink. Is there a bar around here?
with the
You
shop.
can see the drunken toad just across from the Adventurers Guild.
Now, Rambler, didn't we pick up some quests we should be turning in momentarily? Maybe get our new friend joined up to the guild?
I
Oh.
do believe so. You might well be, right?
Guild would this be?
The Adventurers Guild, my friends.
Uh-huh.
You
Chef's
say,
Guild.
making a grand gesture behind you towards the stairs.
Ah,
Get
I
off
would-
my nipple.
I'd be willing to join.
That was so weird.
I'm not on your nipple. What are you talking about? Minstrel.
Sorry, I just came over all peculiar.
One of
I
those
think it's a
elves
side
again, is it?
effect. I think it's a side effect of teleportation.
The way you
Fair
said it, it's like the absolute defeat.
Good old peculiar.
The defeat in your voice. Get off my nipple.
Oh dear. Right. As you head up into the Adventurers Guild, you can. It's a little after evening. By the time you got back from this quest, by the time you got back from taking your long rest inside the temple, so open up Iredale. Okay. Thomas, the nighttime clerk, is just taking over from his sister.
Minstrel,
Thomas, my
lead the way.
friends.
Ah, hello there, Minstrel. You're back again, I see.
I certainly am. I believe we picked up some jobs before.
Yes, I believe you do have one. Do you have your completion note?
Rambler.
Yes, we do.
Did you pick it off Torek? 'Cause I'm not sure if he had it.
It wasn't in his inventory.
I'll say
yeah,
you've got it for now.
I wouldn't have
That's
written it in the inventory. Yeah.
yes, it's right here, and I hand it over.
To be fair, I think Torek did have it, so we'll say it's
Yeah.
slightly bloodied.
Yeah, you'll have to mind the stains and stuff. You know how things can happen to adventurers.
Yes, of course. I'm quite used to this. At least this one isn't covered in acid. As he unrolls the letter. Very well. I believe you were paid on site for this job, so that's all concluded. I shall take your names off probation there.
I-
And who is your new friend?
Well, we'd thought we'd drag this very normal human. We came across her in our is a her, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the moment,
In our
Yennefer from The Witcher 3. That kind of.
in our ever so sorry, Thomas. Oh, we've just teleported. It makes me feel a bit bilious. We rescued this young lady from a ruin, and she's proven her battle prowess, and we thought she'd make an excellent member of the Adventurers Guild. Especially considering we've conveniently just lost a party member.
oh dear, who was that?
Some Dragonborn. He was very hot-headed. He was very dangerous.
Do you have his name so we can take him from our records?
Tommen? Torek?
Tom.
Torek? We have a Torek here.
Tommen.
That must have been it. Dragonborn. About
Yes.
7 foot tall.
As he begins lining through a name on a chart he has in front of him. And to register your new friend, you'll need to speak with the guild master. He's not been in the best news. He's had some bad news of his own, I'm afraid. But I shall see if he's available.
Right.
What's wrong with him?
His name was, I do believe it was Jorek?
Derek.
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 As
Right,
you
where is Derek?
he'll be in his office.
Right, well, we'll leave you to your duties.
Very well, thank you. And you head through the Adventurers Guild back from the main hall to go into to knock upon Jarek's door. While you're outside, you arrive outside. Do you want to knock or do you want to just head in?
I would like to knock like this.
I didn't hear that, sorry. Okay. After a few slow knocks, you're going to hear a somewhat wary "Come in" from Jarek.
I nudge Rambler first.
I go in. I say, "Greetings, Derek. We've successfully liberated the slave Ganassi people of the town of Silverkeep."
Well done.
And your Adventurers Guild seem to forget to pay us, but I guess we'll talk about that later. We've come to introduce you to a potential new member. Karen,
I'm going to
over here,
wave.
please.
As you wave.
Hello.
Derek looks up from the letter he's clearly been poring over for some time. It's crumpled all around the edges where he's been holding on to it so long. Yes, hello. You wish to join?
Yes, please.
Here, as he hands you a badge. I'm terribly sorry. I normally have more of life in me, but this is not a good day.
What's the matter, Jarek?
Well, I was cast out of my family before I joined the Adventurers Guild. You may have met them if you ever went to Dwarfhall. We've had some terrible news from there.
Oh no.
Oh.
What happened?
Yeah. But what's happened?
Well, unfortunately, during a raid from the Druga underground, I'm going to pull up the full chart of this so I can tell you exactly what happened. Because this was something I wrote for quite a while.
The world has consequences, Minstrel.
Where am I?
Out of character, actually.
Fair enough, out of character.
Although, depending on Minstrel's response to what he hears, I may roll insight just to get
I'm
an idea.
standing there suspiciously stoic.
Fair enough.
You know when someone's pulling that face where they're trying to not have any expression.
Fair enough. Well, I was kicked out of the Steelback family from Dwarfholm. We were a branch family. I'm the last member after my father's attempted coup, so I wasn't too close to them, but it turns out all of the Steelbacks have been unfortunately killed, as well as most of the rest of the city. The report goes that after an initial attack by the Druga coming from underground, this is where the information began to confuse me. It was said many raccoons lost their lives to tamed beasts they had coming from underground. The
Those
raccoon
poor
statement
raccoons.
seems unusual, but we shall carry on. After a short while during the attack, the Druga forces coming up were quickly able to sweep over the main defense. However, then the city folk even had to pitch in. Most of them were trying their best, even apparently the cartel joined in. But it was not enough. The defenses were overcome, and the mages of the city decided to enact a plan they hoped never to have to use. As the Druga forces began to completely seize the city, the mages weakened the central roof and collapsed it down the entire city. Unfortunately, it appears that almost everyone was killed.
Such a
Oh,
waste.
what a shame.
Yeah.
So that comment on the raccoons,
Yeah.
we've
Confusing. They were defending a city, apparently.
I
It must have been a mercenary company.
think I can explain that.
Oh,
We've come across, and I'm looking at Khan as I say this because obviously he doesn't know what I'm talking about. We've come across a man many times in our travels whose symbol is a raccoon, and trouble always follows him.
yes. Who would that be?
It's a man, an elf, of the name Shartan. He. Back when I could, I mean, I've since lost the ability to do so, but I discerned powers of a deity coming off him, and I've been suspicious of his motives ever since. Wherever he goes, there is trouble, and he seems to do some mind wiping tricks on the locals every time he literally packs up shop.
I see. You say a raccoon and power of a deity.
Exactly.
He's going to look at you suspiciously for a minute and say, You're part elf, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't... Okay, never mind. Before he goes back to that, it says, from what I understand, the only people to survive the Dwarf Home Massacre were a gentleman known as Garros Blackdire, as well as a few merchants from the district. Is that your insight?
Yeah, just after what Minstrel said, just to see if I believe him.
I shake my head again and go, what a waste. But please heed my warning. If you notice Shartan's curios pop up here, just be wary.
As you say, Shartan's Curios, the name seems to ring a bell and then immediately dissipate from his mind. Almost as if he remembers it and then his mind goes blank for a moment. Khan, you know he's lying. Oh no, Minstrel, I need you to roll deception with that since you were lying about part of it.
I'll have you know, at no point was I lying.
You know very well he summoned the raccoons to defend the city.
Or do I?
Yeah, you do.
5, 3 plus 6.
That's the wrong one.
I'll check this. 19. You just believe him.
Okay, so believe him but wary, I suppose.
Believe him, but
just
you can't tell he's lying.
Aye, okay. So that's just for RP, really. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Our penis.
Yes. So with that, Joe's going to say, please, if you could allow me some time. This is troubling news. My home and, albeit my estranged family, are all gone.
You poor, poor man. I do have a suggestion for you. It might not be to your liking, but when something like this happened to me, I let my past behind me. I left the city and wandered the forest for many years, and I came out a better man. I recommend you do that.
Perhaps some time off from the Adventurers Guild will do me good. I'll need to appoint a deputy.
You will need to appoint a deputy. That's very true.
One of the senior members, perhaps, as he looks
Somebody
away
who's
from
been
you.
on many adventures for the Adventurers Guild and many great successes.
Are you angling for the job?
Maybe.
He's going to look at your wolf sitting in the office and say, before scratching it on the head and saying, I'm sure I'll find someone. If necessary, Stephanie and Thomas can take over for me.
Stefan and Tommen, yes, they're fine receptionists you have there.
Yes, I'm sure they can manage between the two of them. It's
Right,
just
you are,
one
Derek.
person.
I can take a hit.
We shan't keep you. I'm so sorry to hear of your news. We'll leave you to your grief.
Thank you.
Everlasting grief.
There was something about not being paid you wanted to mention, Rambler, before you leave?
Yes, the Adventurers Guild seem to have forgotten to give us our travelling expenses. Yes, we used tabaxi taxis while we were there, and they were very expensive. They were like what do cats ride in Dungeons and Dragons world?
They mostly pulled carts. People pulling carts would be.
Yes,
it's sort of eastern.
They were giant cat-driven taxis, tabaxi taxis, and they were very expensive.
I see. That would be on your own. I believe we arranged a teleport for you most of the way there.
Most of the way there, but yes, we had to take tabaxi taxi the rest of the way.
I see. Well, that should have been handled with your employer at the time. I believe it was a man named Thundercloud.
And also, Jorik, purely because we had to travel, we suffered the loss of our comrade, Torek,
I believe his name.
Yes, that's right. And it will take us decades, maybe hundreds of years, to ever be able to fill this void he's left in our hearts.
He immediately points to the person you just introduced.
He's going to have a visibly confused look on her face.
He's this young lady is merely a stepping stone. She's not quite malleable enough to fill the gap. I wink at Khan.
He's going to look confused looking back between the two of you.
Very confused.
Especially as you continually switch between referring to Khan as male or female. He's also going to take a quick look down at Khan's legs to try and work something out.
I think there should be, out of character, a rule that now Matt's playing a girl, he has to do every RP in falsetto.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can try.
But the thing about changelings is they can change their voice whenever they like, so could technically still speak with a male voice.
So you want to be a trans man?
You're going to have to use your imagination, I'm afraid. It's going to hurt
Fair enough.
Too much.
Okay, so with that, he's also going to look up and say, "Oh, and we had a problem with that halfling upstairs. We've had to let him go."
Halfling? Oh, the wizard. What happened to him?
Well, he may have teleported an entire adventuring party into a stone wall and killed them.
I see. Where did he go?
He'd left the city last I checked. Said something about heading over to Oranshire.
I see. Very interesting. He was a good man. I'm sure he didn't do it deliberately.
I'm sure, but we can't have that form of risk.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll be off then. Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right. Cheers, then. Cheers, buddy.
Goodbye, friend.
Oh. As we leave, I'm gonna say to Rambler, such a shame we can't give that man the wish stone to wish his family back.
Well, that may be an idea, but wouldn't it be more useful in our hands? Seeing as we do have to fight somebody who's planning to end the world or something.
Use of that stone is that it pays a heavy price.
Okay, so back outside in the main hall where you had your induction group. Minstrel, you're the only one who knows that, thinking about it.
Yeah.
So with that, you're going to be able to go where you like at this point. What do you want to do next?
I would like to check the board.
Okay,
So
pulling
what
up
time
the
of
board.
day is it as well?
It's evening.
Alright.
I would like to, in a minute, go to the inn. I'll go to the inn ahead.
You got to head to the inn, sure.
Batu is going to follow Minstrel, and as they're walking along, he's going to look at Minstrel and say, "Sausages. Sausages?"
Okay.
I hand him a salted fish.
he hands you 1 platinum piece.
I'm gonna follow Minstrel too.
I just have to clear a few. Bear with me. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Okay. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Can I not bother putting up the 1-star quest if that's okay?
They're the best ones.
What, the ones like help me find my dog?
Yeah, I think that's a waste of time.
I think even. Oh, it's over 2,000 characters. I'm going to have to do it in a couple of them. Bear with me.
Actually, I'm going to go by the fountain, I think. I'm not going to go in the inn.
Go by the fountain. So you're in the main square for the area. So.
I can save you some time by asking you, are there any that are either in Iredell or very near?
The nearest one is Devil's Point.
Oh.
It's the ruins investigation.
I'll read the blurb of that one.
Sure. Coming up now. Ignore that.
Oh, so that's what it is. Wait,
You missed.
Did you read it?
Doubt you have time to read that.
Okay.
No, I did. I know exactly what's going to happen now.
Devil's Point. Report to Hawk Fair Sale in Devil's Point for further details. Ruins discovered off the coast.
Oh, it's a
Payment is shared discoveries.
A water-based thing, I say to Batu, and then I turn around and notice that he's nowhere to be seen. So I take the note, and I would like to follow Batu's tracks.
Are you following him out, or are you going to hand the note in first?
Oh, right, yeah, I have to hand the note in, don't I? I shall hand the note in, and then I shall follow.
No problem. The Thomas is going to be asking if you would need a cart arranged to get you to Devil's Point. It's near enough they can take you the whole way.
Now, this is something I would love to be able to consult with my companions on, but judging by how little my elf friend likes using his feet, I'm going to say perhaps we should get a cart.
Sure, one will be arranged for you. I assume you won't be leaving till tomorrow morning at the earliest. When would you like the cart ready from?
Well, how many hours drive away is Devil's Point?
Oh, it will take you. Sorry, I'm just going to put up my version of the map with the scale on it.
No, don't. No, don't here. Mountain, no, don't.
Okay, zooming out. So, from Iredell to Devil's Point is 2 and a bit days. If you take the shortest route.
Yeah, alright, well, we'll leave around lunchtime.
Around midday, very well. As you follow Minstrel out into the card, where are you at this point, just out of interest?
I followed along with Minstrel, yeah.
Sure. So, you and Minstrel are currently out in the main square. Minstrel, I assume you're putting on a performance.
I certainly am.
As you can see, Tabatu currently sitting at the top of the Adventurers Guild stairs, getting ready to watch you from the best vantage point as Rambler catches up with him.
Let me clear all the gloop off his finger so I can type.
Sure thing.
Oh, fuck's sake. I'm putting my lid on. I'm leaving it alone.
Good. Why do you keep playing with it when it's such a horrible, horrible substance?
Right.
Let's not ask that, actually.
I am going to shout, "Hello, and your attention, please. Witness the amazing minstrel, magician, and awesome person."
A drunk over at the Drunken Toad, just across the way, is going to shout, "Are you summoning more ghouls to fight? I want to see you kill them again."
Ah, better than ghouls, my friend. Better than ghouls. I will summon...
Yes.
8 of any of these, please.
8 of any of these. Okay. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If he's going to do a performance, I want Khan to try and join
Okay.
in.
I'm going to have to roll my mutant D22.
I want Khan to try
No.
and join in. She likes to be included.
Now, actually, where you're rolling, can you include the
Water-based
sea-based
ones?
creatures? Yeah.
Yes, because you're above a fountain. I shall. 5. What's the 5th one on the list?
Right.
He's going to be cat. Oh, it's bat.
Ah, bats.
Bat. You summon 8 bats around you,
Right.
and then
I
are met by a general cry of "Ooh, spooky!"
grab one of the bats and bite its head off.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy,
What would happen? Because it's like a
Ozzy
summoned
Kent.
creature.
Ozzy.
It would turn to ash. Bats have 1 hit point. It would just disappear in a glow of light.
And then I say with my instructions, bats, land on my shoulders and allow me to juggle you.
Okay, the bats comply.
And I would like to juggle some bats.
After having seen Minstrel eat one of the bats, Batu is going to assume that they're food, and he's going to attempt to get up there and eat one. Is that
Okay.
acrobatics?
Have him make an attack roll for me.
Oh, okay. I
With
guess I get
disadvantage since it's
Oh.
being juggled.
Oh,
Do I need to do a performance check?
Yes, you will need to do a performance check.
I'm going to have Khan roll one as well, just to join in.
Sure. We'll have you do a Tadar. What's a
What's
bat?
Oh!
Nat 20.
He wants to be included. Oh, shit. Yeah.
all right. So
Okay.
Batu leaps up,
And
completely misses, and goes flying
if
to the other side.
if you'll allow me, since we got the nat 20, I'm going to do a bit of flair with this, if that's cool. Okay, as
Shouldn't
Mithril
risk-
begins juggling the bats and Khan, I'm going to come up with something for you in a second. Radhika comes up behind Minstrel, preparing to pounce to catch one of the bats, but instead jumps directly over his head and goes through the path of the bats as he lands on the far side, making it look like an excellent trick.
Well, my idea for Khan is that, like a magician's assistant would, like, sort of frame the area. I was thinking that kind of thing.
Fair enough. We'll go with that since you got a 19. 21, in fact. Yeah.
Mm.
This is met by general impressive applause that you seem to be able to command so many beasts to do your bidding without any real effort. Minstrel, you are then showered with a total of 163 gold.
Can we do it so
I-
Minstrel passes his hat to Batu, and Batu goes around and collects it all?
Sure. So you don't
I
pick
will
up the
split that by 4 and say, good team effort, boys. Beers on me tonight.
Stop calling me a boy.
Sorry, madam.
Okay.
So that's 40.7.
40.7. Yeah.
Should we take 40 or 41?
Take 40 each.
Aye.
Is some of that going to Bartu?
Yeah, that's why I said
Yeah,
by 4.
okay. I wondered. So Bartu's now got another 40 gold in his pouch.
Nice.
He's slowly collecting his own wealth, interestingly. If he
And
learns how
now-
to trade at some point, it's going to be amazing.
My final command is bats fly into Bartu's mouth.
As Bartu opens his mouth, having heard his name, and 7 more bats immediately fly directly into his mouth, disappearing in a small flash of light each time.
And I take a deep bow.
Roll one more performance check.
I'll also bow.
Okay.
Just
With
behind
advantage, I'll just do this the once.
it. Oh,
Advantage. 14.
yeah.
This is received less well as they now realise the bats were magic. However, they still throw another 97 gold pieces.
And I'm going to give 97 gold pieces to Bartu.
Fair enough. He
Bastard.
can add that into his pouch.
I was joining in with you. I've only got 40 gold total.
God,
I mean,
you
that
definitely
was.
got more money than you.
Oh, that went surprisingly well.
I had pretty much nothing just before that.
Oh, dear. Okay.
So I'm going to make my way to the inn.
Go to the inn, yeah.
Okay. You head to the Drunken Toad and inquire about a room. Or are you inquiring about a room or you plan to drink?
I'm going to buy everyone around, and I'm going to buy a roast chicken.
Out of interest, around for the bar or around for your companions?
For the companions.
Sure, so that'll be a grand total of 1.5 gold. Plus
Mate,
1
not made
gold
of
for the
money.
chicken.
Okay, no, I'm going to make that 2 chickens.
2 chickens, sure.
I'll have to eat every chicken in the house.
And
really willing
I'm
to try for some chickens.
going to make sure, I'm going to politely request of the barmaid, who I have yet to be introduced to,
Sure.
can you bring these chickens out on a platter and present them to our dear companion Bartu, please? You'd recognise him straight away, you see. He's a wolf.
Ah, I see. Very well. It will make life easy. Of course, I shall bring them over to your table when they're done. Here are your drinks, sir. As she hands you 3 mugs of ale.
4.
Thank you very much.
I was going to say I only counted for 3 in the cost when I was doing it. I didn't think for Bartu and a bowl of water for him.
Yeah,
Khan,
bought Bartu.
Khan turned to minstrel, and her eyes are gonna grow slightly bigger, and go a nice
You're giving him actual puppy dog eyes.
bright blue, watery. I am hungry too. I'd like
Oh yes, of course. I've gotten way ahead of myself. I haven't eaten today either. Innkeep, what's the nicest food you serve?
We have a cherry pie, which has been very popular with the Adventurers Guild just lately. Or alternatively, for a main course, we have freshly roasted goblin. No, I'm joking.
some.
Freshly roasted pheasant.
I will have 3 freshly roasted pheasants, please.
Sure, that'll be 6 gold. I'll bring them over when they're ready.
Thank
The
you.
nicest meal on the menu. About 5 minutes pass before 2 chickens are brought out for Bartu, and a pheasant is brought out and put before each of your party members. They are currently stuffed with a small selection of vegetables and have a side of grilled mushrooms.
Make me
Right,
hungry.
what a pleasant pheasant.
And Khan's gonna scoff the lot.
Fair enough. In a very unladylike manner, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
She's never eaten before.
Fair enough. As you're sitting around the table, you can hear general murmuring amongst the. You establish most of the other adventurers in the room milling through, having their drinks before heading back to the guild to sleep for the night. There's a general air of attacks on the road and a few other things going about, but nothing serious. Sorry?
And the fall of Dwarfhome.
The fall of Dwarfhome is unfortunate, yes. There aren't many dwarfs in here, but the few you do see are sat over at one table in the corner looking rather sullen.
Well, Rambler, what have you been up to as we were doing our performance? I noticed you lagged behind a little bit by the
Yes,
Adventurers Guild.
I thought since we were passing, I thought I might as well pick us up one of their quest me bobs. It turns out there's one almost where we're going, and we get free passage to Devil's Point.
Oh, well, that's good. You know how I hate walking.
Yes, well, I did think about that. Yes.
It's just dawned on me while we're sitting here eating, we haven't booked any rooms for the night.
Oh, well, I was just planning to sleep out in the wilds.
We get room and board in the Adventurers Guild.
You do? You know
Oh,
that bit?
Yeah. Suppose the Adventurers Guild would be nicer than the local tavern.
But
No
would it be
offence,
nice?
Keep.
Would it be nicer than a copse on the side of the road in the cold night?
I mean, I would not be opposed to that. I too like the fresh air.
Does the fresh air include a feathered bed?
I've got a magic tent. I don't know what that's got in it, but I assume it's luxurious. Well, I haven't got it. Batu's got it, but I'm sure I'll let you use it.
You've slept in it a few times. You know it contains simple padded mattresses on basically cots. They're
Yes,
comfortable and better than what you'd have travelling around normally.
It's a luxurious tent. You remember it? It had silk 4 silk beds, one for each of us.
I immediately know he's lying, having slept in this bed many times.
Trying to persuade, is it?
Oh, right. You appear to be quite silent, young minstrel.
I just responded, didn't I?
Yeah, he did.
You said
Just-
you knew I was lying.
Yeah, so he was calling you on it. That sorry.
Yeah, I went, but I've slept in that bed many times. I know, it's Codswallop.
Right. Well, I was only lying for your own good. I suppose we could sleep in your bedroom again.
You had
Our bedroom.
Yeah. Does anyone want to stay up drinking?
And I wink, and my cheeks go rosy.
I think Khan's gonna stay and have a few more.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm going to have a few more.
It's gonna have a tummy tank.
Say 3 more ales, maybe.
I want to
more
have a listen round, see if there's any interesting conversations going on.
Okay. So we'll have. Are you actually drinking while you're doing this, or are you more focused on the thing and pretending to drink?
I am drinking, but I'm not getting wasted. I'm
Why?
nursing a pint.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Khan would like to particularly pay attention to listening to the dwarves, see what they say.
But okay, Carl, I'll have an. Oh, sorry, Carl. I'll have an investigation check from you first, as we do the dwarves. Minstrel, since you're on general, we'll just have another investigation.
And also, she does speak dwarvish if needed.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that.
Shit. Investigation, you say?
Please.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Get off my
13.
fucking hands.
They're mostly commiserating about the unfortunate events and saying at least Garros Blackdire, one of the noble family, survived.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit. Blackdire.
Minstrel, make a con save for me.
No, don't.
And unfortunately, they're saying that with the lack of noble houses and hopefully the destruction of the Druga, the dwarves will have to reform most of their society, and it may affect them badly going forward in the Parliament, as their representative was in Dwarfholm at the time.
Maybe as I'm listening, I can relay that in, say, Elvish to
Sure.
Minstrel.
To Minstrel. Minstrel, you don't really hear much. You drink a little more than you intended, but you managed to hold your alcohol quite well.
With that, I suppose I ought to call it a night.
Rambler, anything you want to do this evening?
No, I've had my dinner. I'm hanging around with Minstrel, but just sort of letting him do his thing and having a bit of a drink.
Sure. So with that, you head back to the Adventurers Guild. So as you reach back into the room, you once again see the oddly sized beds. There is now a second long bed laid out for a 7-odd foot individual, because clearly they were expecting Torek to come back.
That's awkward.
I want Khan to run and jump on the big bed.
Fair enough. To Merrick's old bed, the wide one.
Yeah, whatever the big one is. Yeah,
that's the longest and widest combination. The other one's just longer. So Khan's immediately stealing Merrick's old bed. You've now got in total 4 beds: 1 7-foot, 1 6-foot, and 1 5-foot.
Is the brass brazier that Balador left here still here?
You don't know.
Can I examine it? I mean, surely I would see it if it was here. Is what I'm saying.
Where did he hide it? Do you remember?
No idea. Under the bed, maybe? No.
Yeah, he hid it under the bed, so it's not going to be in line of sight unless you're looking for it. And the only person who knew it was there was him. So I'm going to say, for metagaming reasons, you can't find it that way.
I think it'd be too meta for Minstrel to look.
You may find it if you were when you wake up, or if you, for any particular reason, if Bartu sleeps on the floor, for example. He might spot it and let you know, but we won't say you can look at that this evening. Okay, so as you all settle down into your respective beds, Khan, you're taking the 7-foot tall, 6-foot wide bed, originally designed
Right.
for a Loxodon. In fact, it's closer to 8-foot tall, thinking about it.
Yeah, he was tall. He's like
He was
7'8".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minstrel, I assume you take your regular bed.
Yes.
Minstrel.
And Rambler, I'll assume you'll take either the 5-foot bed or the 7-foot bed. Your call.
Yes. I'll take.
Okay.
Yeah. Batu have a 7-foot bed.
Sure. So Bartu's sleeping on the 7-foot bed, and Rambler gets into the 5-foot bed, which for him is still pretty big. You sleep away the night in relative peace. It's warm, but not too warm. As you notice, the months are beginning to change from summer to autumn.
Autumn.
Yes, I'm counting off the days on my calendar as I go through this.
Don't.
As you wake up, you will now know it is the first day of Septis. The next day.
I've got sepsis.
Oh.
Close.
Oh, com save.
Let's pull up the detail for that.
Detail of sepsis.
Yes. You notice early in the morning there's a general revelry out in the main street and people celebrating and drinking in the middle of the day. Or in first thing in the morning, in fact.
Look at that, Minstrel.
Oh.
They're celebrating your victory.
What's going on here then?
As you consider the month, you remembering roughly when in the year it was because you would have come from somewhere else. You remember this is known as the half-cycle celebration. This is literally the marking of halfway through the year.
Oh, it's sad that we don't have time to party all day with these people. When is our transport set for?
Lunchtime. I assumed we'd all have a hangover, so it was a bit late in the day.
You've got time. Do you want to go ask about the city a bit?
Yeah, just to see if there's any particular things going on, or if they're just having a bit of a party.
As you exit out into the Adventurers Guild, you notice general revelry and drinking. You also notice that none of the stores appear to be open today. It's functioning like a bank holiday. As you ask about, everything's closed and people generally have a good time and knees up. You're invited several times, Khan, I assume you're still in the female form?
Yeah.
To join several rather overly drunk gentlemen.
Do they give her beads? I'd like to try and keep up with Khan as she's pushing through the crowd. And after about the third time I've been kneed in the face trying to push my way through the crowd, I'm going to go, Khan, please, can we get out of here? I hate these city folk.
Yeah, I'm not too keen myself, so I guess if Minstrel's ready.
All right. I'm going to go back to
make our way
Minstrel
through.
and Batu and mount him.
Okay, you
Minstrel.
mount your dog.
No, Minstrel.
Oh, Minstrel. As you're all now standing about outside the Adventurers Guild, you've got some time to kill. Is there anything you'd like to try and do?
I suggest we just wait here on these steps. We can read. I'll regale you. Well, actually, Minstrel can regale us with the Tales of the Halls of Glum, which he seems to know so much about.
Rambler, I will interrupt you. I have a better story to tell. Now, picture this. There's a group of adventurers looking at a statue before a pit of venom. A very wise bard takes the option to do a backflip and lands on the statue's arm. And his servants bring him a big jar of venom to pour in to activate it. This, in turn, unleashes an undead Tyrannosaurus Rex on the party. Minstrel, having lived his life for this moment, sprinted down the corridor, fueled by pure bloodlust and a bit of sexual frustration, and taps himself in the legs and turns into another Tyrannosaurus Rex. There was a mighty battle, and Minstrel single-handedly felled the giant beast by biting out its throat and letting out a mighty roar.
At which point you're going to be poked gently in the back of the head by a small child who's going to say, "And then what happened?"
Oh, I'd like to, sort of, as he started saying, I wanted Khan to say, beckon over some of those drunk blokes to have a listen in.
Fair enough. Again, the small child's
Telling
just
them he's a
poked
bard.
in the head, asking what happened next.
Oh, then of course, the mighty bard in all his wisdom and adventuring prowess, decided T-Rexes aren't as mighty as my true form, and reverted back to himself.
And then what happened?
Well, what do you think? I'm here now.
Make a performance check.
Yeah. I'd say that's worthy of inspiration if this goes well.
Yeah, I was to say, it'll depend on the performance check.
Oh, yeah.
Nat 20.
Got
You
it.
get a D6 DM Inspiration Dice Minstrel.
Are those
Or
the
upgrade
permanent
to one
ones
if you already
that
have one.
use? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, did you already have a DM Inspiration Dice?
No, I didn't.
No, so you can just take D6, that's fine.
And they're the ones that are
You're also
permanent.
going to be handed a rather sticky copper penny from the small child, as well as a few gold pieces from... Actually, I should roll out the number to be fair, like I normally do for a Nat 20.
Rambler is going to give Minstrel 20 gold pieces.
Okay, a total of 117 gold pieces from the onlookers.
Jesus. Was
Glad I
only
brought some of them
16
over.
around? They each gave him their life savings. It was a good story.
It was a good-sized group. There was 40 or 50 of them.
I'm going
Drunk
to,
hunter.
having taken the young boy's copper, hand him a gold piece in return and ruffle his head.
Thank you, sir, as he now heads off to go. You then notice him lifting a mug of ale off one of the nearby tables in the street.
My God, he was a drug addict.
Just having some fun.
Technically, you don't know if there are any rules against child drinking, but still.
Yeah, we
Against
don't know the
child
age.
what?
Drinking.
Oh, drinking. Okay. Right. Well, can we do a time skip then? Till
Yeah, sure. We'll say you spent an hour telling that story and then waited to head to the south entrance of town.
I
to
like
go meet your
the fact both Rambler and Khan didn't pull me up on how I confabulate. I can't say it.
Yeah, but I think
that
it's
story so
It was an
far.
interesting story, and you're a bard. You're supposed to make things sound nicer, better.
poetic license.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily wrong. 'Cause we did slay the zombie T-Rex, but
Also, none of you complained about being called his servants.
yeah, but he's some bard telling a story. You'd have to believe it to be true.
Fair enough. Okay, as you head over to the south entrance of town, you are met by Ed, and Eddie. The cart drivers you met once before.
Greetings, sirs. My name's Rambler, and who might you be?
Oh, you have met them before.
Have I?
Yeah, you did back with.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, you would have met them on the way back from Hollow Tree.
Oh.
But it's fine. Oh, it's us again. Short one.
Hello, us again.
Do you not remember us? I'm
Oh,
Ed.
yes.
This is Ed with 2 Ds, and this is Eddie,
Yes,
our
I've
other
just been
brother you've not met.
reminded that I do remember you, actually. How's the dicky leg going, Eddie?
Eddie's the only one you haven't met before. I love this fact.
Yes, well, enough of this gay banter. We've got a place to be. And I hop into the cart.
Very well. As he helped Tabatu Sasulan up into the cart. It's good to see you again, Minstrel. And who's your fetching companion?
This is my girlfriend. Her name is Khan. Please ignore the masculine name and voice. I assure you, this is a 100% bona fide woman.
And then she's gonna
Bona fide.
she's gonna curtsy.
Curtsy, okay.
Try to be as ladylike as she possibly can, even though she's not very graceful. That's very
Nice to meet you, my dear. As he helps you up by offering you an arm to get into the cart.
She'll take it. She'll take the help.
I'll take it.
Okay,
Take it arm. Take the help.
fair enough. As Minstrel, you're allowed to climb into the back as the two of them get up front to drive the horses, and one of them sits on the back this time. you head off into the countryside. It's a nice, pleasant day. At this point in time, the days are quite long, so you can travel much further than you would have expected. By the end of the first day, you're reaching the... what's it called? Across country. You're reaching the corner point just above midpoint for the roads. You reckon it might only take you another day or so to reach Devil's Point from here?
I would
At
like
this rate.
to have a little examine. Am I within 5 miles of midpoint?
Of midpoint, no.
Oh, either way, I'd like to
You're
have
following the coast round, but
I'd
you'll
like
have a look for aberrations, etc.
monstrosities and fucking robots.
I'll keep an eye out for the undead and aberrations as well.
Let's see. Do you say undead and aberrations as well?
Mm.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 15 undead nearby, and there are 3 monstrosities nearby.
I'll share that with people.
Yes, and
Everywhere in
I
the car.
detected. Yes, and I detected 3 monstrosities as well. Perhaps we should be on our guard if we're going to camp tonight.
I wouldn't worry about that. I do have a tiny hut.
Oh,
You do have a
it's all
tiny
right.
cot, but it's nothing to be ashamed of, young minstrel.
Ed-
Oh, hut.
Ed and Ed are going to turn around and say, "It's okay. It's worryboard Eddie. We can switch off between the 3 of us and travel through the night this time.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
It helps us for when we're at full force, as it were."
right you are then, a dead and Eddie. A dead and Eddie. A dead and Eddie.
I don't know the names there, are you?
Ed and Eddie.
As you head throughout the night, pace slows down, but you don't have to stop at any point, so you gain a fair amount of distance. As you begin turning back towards the north the next morning to head towards Devil's Point. What was that, Rambler, sorry?
I'm making a gourmet cup of tea.
Sure, on the back of a cart.
Oh, sandwiches then.
Okay, I'm still going to say disadvantage. You're going to be bobbling along.
Now I have to retype it.
Sorry.
Plus 3 KL1. Easy. Easy.
I don't think either of them work pretty well. The sandwiches are okay, but they're sandwiches.
I hand a sandwich to Khan with a wink and say, "Get this down, yeah, that'll give you the strength for our toils ahead."
Take it gladly. Scoffing it down.
Okay.
I assume I used rations for that, right?
Yeah, you will have used salted, unless you have any meat or things you want to use.
No. How many rations? 4?
You're making them for everyone in the cart. Does that include the drivers?
Yeah, why not? A dead and Eddie.
So that'll be a total of 7.
7? Oh,
There are 3 of them, remember?
probably should buy some rations at some point.
Fair enough. As your cart comes now round, by about late afternoon, you're coming towards Devil's Point along the coast. The sand has made it difficult at this point to put the cart much further. So, approximately a mile and a half outside town, Ed and Eddie are going to suggest you carry on foot for the last section of distance. They'll meet you there once they've got the cart unstuck from all this sand.
Right, you are then, young lads. We'll see you
Thank
there.
you,
Or
boys.
are you giving us a ride back afterwards then?
Of course, this shouldn't take too long from what we understand. You're only investigating a single ruin.
Okay, well, you mind yourselves, mind, and
We shall
we'll be
be
off.
well entertained here, I'm certain.
I shall see you soon.
You spend the next hour or so wandering the last 2 miles towards Devil's Point. As it comes firmly into view, you can see a number of ramshackle wooden buildings. It doesn't look like this is a particularly wealthy area. There are, however, a number of rather impressive boats in the harbour.
I'd like to have a little feel out for any aberrations and undead again, as we're close to a point.
Undead again.
At this point, you've cleared far enough away that they're not going to be in range of you anymore.
So there's none in this area.
None in this area.
And robots and all that.
Robots and monstrosities. There is a monstrosity nearby, but only one.
There's a monstrosity nearby, but only one.
Oh, no, wait, you
Over
know
there.
the direction and things, don't you?
Yeah.
It's directly underneath you at the max range you can feel.
5 miles down, there's some big bastard. I
Hope
don't think
not
we need
going
to
that
worry
far
about it.
down. Yeah, it's a long way.
Well, I think we're going in the sea. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it reminds me of the time when I went to this place. Rambler
Okay,
trails up.
so with this one, as you head into town, I think I put it up, but I can't entirely remember. So I will pull it up again for you because it's only fair.
No, don't.
A story. Okay, so Devil's Point. Please report to Hawk Fairsail for further instructions. So you need to try and find him in the town.
And can we see any people around now?
There's a few people going about work towards the docks, but most of the houses seem fairly empty.
What kind of people? Like
Sailors. They're mostly human, but there's a few more unusual ones about them. The most interesting one seems to be there's a number of gnome sailors.
Ooh. Strange.
Not enough that they'd be the majority, but enough that seeing 6 small gnomes dressed as sailors catches your interest and is amusing.
I'm gonna give Rambler a little nudge.
Nope.
Are they anything to do with you?
No, those are gnomes, my friend. I am a halfling. There's quite a few differences. And they are...
Say so.
Yes, they are very different to him. But anyway, never mind all that. And I approach said gnomes. And I say, greetings, Sir Gnomies.
Hello there, sir. Would you mind if we walked and talked? We've got to finish loading the ship up before we head back to Norham.
Norwich, eh? I hear it's a
Norham.
good pub in Norwich. Oh, yes, Norham, right.
Norham, that's a long sail away.
It is, but we have to resupply somewhere. The island doesn't get enough fresh water, so we barrel it up and sail back and forth.
Right,
Please,
well,
what can I help you with?
we are looking for a man named Hawk Hart. Sail.
Something to do with sailing.
I'll say, you must mean Captain Hawk.
Captain Hawk, yes.
You'll find her over in the tavern just opposite the docks.
Alright, I do a double take and I look at her and go, a woman?
Yes. She's terrifying. Don't think she's going to be soft.
Has she, perchance, been 5 miles underground at any point today?
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, it's a sincere question.
No?
Right, okay.
I don't know how you would get 5 miles underground.
Well, I can think of lots of ways. I can show you some if you like, but not now. I can do that later.
Fair enough. They back away from you almost as if that seemed like a thinly veiled threat.
Oh dear. Try not to piss off the locals, Rambler.
Well, gnomes and halflings historically have always got on each other's nerves.
This is true.
Oh, that was a good guess.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to be go find this she pirate.
As you head over to the tavern, you can see the large sign up on the wall has a rather interesting picture, and the signage as well as the picture both depict the words and the image of a twisted anchor. So you assume the tavern is called the Twisted Anchor.
If we're looking for a sailor, a captain, I think an inn is a safe bet.
I've heard many tales about this pub. The locals call it the Twanker.
Oh, I like it enough. I might make that canon.
Right, let's go get ourselves a drink and a job.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, minstrel.
You alright?
What? Sorry.
Yeah, heading in. How long have you been gone for?
I've.
Can't you hear the sirens?
Where are we?
Oh, you're currently in the
last thing I remember was eating a sandwich, and since then I felt almost as if I was in some kind of food coma.
Fair enough. You walked to Devil's Point along the coast because the cart got stuck. You're currently heading into the Twisted Anchor.
I do know where we are, by the way.
Okay.
I was trying to explain why I haven't said anything since we got in the cart.
We're going into the Twisted Anchor Minstrel.
Ah, the Twanker. I've heard of this place.
We're looking for the
Yes,
captain.
the
Captain
Twanker.
Hawk.
Well,
Oh, as you head inside, you can notice there's a general revelry and some accordion music being played. It's rather an impressive piece of musical instrument.
This one's wearing a bit thin, and I'm
Okay.
now dressed in pirate garments.
I'm going to
Interesting.
cast Disguise Self to make myself look like one of the
But
gnomes.
when I say pirate garments, I mean like full-blown stereotypical pirate. Obviously not
So
a genuine pirate.
the long
Yeah.
full British sailor's coat with the open-fronted chest and
Yeah, and the big hat,
off arms
on with a skull and crossbows,
And I'm
and
Captain Jack Sparrow.
a very still unanimated parrot on my shoulder because obviously,
it's
I
decorative
can't-
and has to be stuffed to count as part of the clothing.
yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. As you head into the tavern looking like this, there's a general staring at you before someone's going to come over to you and whisper quietly in your ear you won't understand this. You'll get the words, but they'll mean nothing to you.
What's the language? Just
Wait, to who?
To minstrel.
I speak all languages.
Yes, you
Oh,
do,
can hear
but
'em.
you will not understand this. The words will be literally what appear to be a random assortment.
Oh, is it like Thieves Can't or something? Is it one of those?
Yeah,
Secret ones, aren't they?
it's basically a coded language. So it's not actually a language, it's words in common which have a set meaning. So the words whispered in your ear will be shadow, civilian, ghost, flare, and hunter.
I look him in the eye and I say, anchor, wave, sea chicken, tuna fish.
He stares back at you like you're an idiot.
I am going to go to the bar and order myself a shandy.
Ale is brought out to you.
I'm going to go and order a large mug of ale.
You're also get a mug of ale. You can both knock off 3 silver for the.
I'm going to ask the
Right.
barkeep. Excuse me, young or old barkeep.
The barkeep is an older gentleman with one missing leg replaced by a wooden peg.
Excuse me, Mr. Hobbalong, sir. Is there a Captain Hawk around?
At which point he's going to say, "Hawk, you've got visitors," before whistling very, very loudly. And after doing this, he's going to turn back and say, "And what did you want with my daughter?"
We got a job. Come see him. Apparently, bunch of ruins. Need adventurers. We are very powerful adventurers. My friend over there has bitten the head off a T-Rex and defeated a greater demon in single combat.
I see. Well, you should be perfect for the job. It shouldn't be too dangerous. We did lose a small party of our own men to it, but I'm sure adventurers like yourself can manage perfectly well.
Yes, as long as you've got plenty of potions of water breathing.
The ruins are above water, don't worry.
I see. Yes, I knew that. I was just testing you.
It's quite alright. As you now hear footsteps coming down the stairs, you can see a tall human woman with long red hair, wearing tight leather armor fitted around her chest and arms only. She appears to be wearing typical sailor garb other than that, breeches with high knee-high boots. Yes, I have visitors?
Yes, Mrs. Heartsteel, Captain Hawk.
Hawk Fairsail.
We're
Yes.
from the Adventurers
Looks
Guild.
Ah,
We've
I
come
see.
to aid you.
You've accepted the job I sent quite some time ago. Well, the ruins are still there. I sail by them most days on my route. Please, do come have a seat as she beckons you to the corner table.
Follow. I'll lead the way.
Okay.
Fellow woman.
The two of you sit down, and I assume Minstrel and Rambler are joining.
Minstrel.
This one's wearing a bit thin as I change into suitable dress.
Fair enough. You mimic the sailor outfit.
No,
To
you
full-
misunderstand. I said a suitable dress.
Oh, you actually mean a dress?
No. I'm just dressed as everyone else is in the pub.
Fair enough. So you're wearing sailor's breeches with jackkite boots, and I'm going to say, to go full stereotype, you're wearing the blue and white stripe shirt.
Thank you very much.
As you sit down to the table, and say, "Yes, now allow me to explain. The ruins rose out of the sea. Interestingly, it was on my route for some time, but was always underwater. Approximately 2 months ago, it came up out of the ocean, and when we landed, several of my crew went inside. After a few moments screaming and a few other things, we simply found their bodies lying at the bottom of the stairs in the inside of the main tower, which is the only one we could moor at. The other ones are perfectly round, but they do appear to have some bridges connecting them. I'm hoping you'll be able to get inside and find out what's going on inside there. Ruins like this often have powerful magic artifacts, as well as gold and jewelry and gems, all of which would be lovely if you could recover them."
Yes, well, what would the split be of the treasure exactly?
Well, I was thinking the fair way to do this, as I discovered the ruins along with my crew and I would take the gold and any gemstones, but your group could keep any magical items.
Now,
Rambler.
Now I know you are a woman of the world, but that doesn't sound like a very good deal to me. If you'll excuse me one moment, I must consort with my companion.
Sure.
Yes, minstrel?
Rambler, that sounds very much like the fabled city of Brulé.
The fabled city of what?
I think he burped into the microphone.
Let me. Sorry. The famous sunken city of Brulé.
Brulé, eh? The sunken city of Brulé. And how does this information help us in negotiating our reward?
I think this is the fabled city where there resides a mighty. I can't think of any other word than a mighty octopus man.
I see. And is this octopus man evil?
Oh, yes, very evil. He has a name that sounds a bit like a cough.
Right. I'm getting a little bit confused here, but so, Captain Hawk, how's about we could go with your deal, except we split the money and the jewels 50-50?
Make a persuasion check.
No, I don't want to.
You're trying to persuade them. I can't think of any other way you could do it.
Oh dear.
Yes. Rambler, do you roll in the other channel?
Oh, whoops! I got 21 and an 8.
8 means nothing. That's fine. Trying to remember the channels.
No!
Okay. 21. So let's see against her charisma. Very well. We'll split the gold and the jewels 50-50.
And
And
obviously,
you can keep the magical items.
yes. Right. Well, we have a deal. Can we borrow a Bert to get out there, please, Bert?
I shall be sailing you myself on my rounds.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
But you are shown to her rather impressive ship. I assume you're all happy to go
Very much so.
now? Yeah. We're going to call the session there as you arrive at the ship, because I said it's going to be a short one, this one.
Aye, aye.
Ah, gentlemen, the world has stopped.
You know I have to cut that later, right?